definition of catcalling is when guys try to get your attention by saying you're attractive in a very rude way.
Definition of catcalling is like when a guy's trying to approach you, but they can't really approach you. They just like signal you or like whistle at you.
I think I know what catcalling is. It's like when a guy, I guess, or a girl call after someone and make sexual jokes or references and make the person feel really uncomfortable. Or they'll just say like, look at that ass or something, and yeah.
My definition of catcalling is guys whistling and disrespecting girls.
Yeah, I think catcalling includes anyone using sounds or not necessarily full sentences to make derogatory motions towards someone else.
People, traditionally it's men catcalling women, and it's people, men yelling out at a woman as she passes regarding her physical attributes and whistling or talking about her body.
Okay, well, I was at a country concert, and you know, there's that whole stigma of country concerts and people hooking up. And I was out on the lawn, and this group of guys were walking by, and they were probably in college. And this guy at the end was kind of creeping, and he walked by me, and all of a sudden, he just reaches over and grabs onto my shoulder super tight, and I have no idea what's going on. And he yells up to his friends, and he goes, "Hey guys, is this one too young?" And I mean, obviously that's kind of sexual, and it made me feel really uncomfortable because I didn't know what he was implying or what he would do because he was already like grabbing onto me.
Have you ever been catcalled?
Yes, I have. Many times.
I have experienced catcalling before, and there was a situation where me and my cousin were just walking down the street and these guys were trying to get our attention, and we didn't respond. Obviously, we just kept walking and ignoring them. And then they, instead of like continuing, they started yelling out rude things to us, and yeah.
Have you ever experienced catcalling?
Yes.
Explain your story.
It was one day when I was walking my dog, and I had a man pull up behind me in his car and proceed to get out, and he was making whistling noises and trying to call me over and get me to go with him in his car and out shopping with him and just using my looks to like pursue what he wanted.
I can't remember a specific incident, but I'm old enough that there's been a bunch of them. But it's typically just walking past some place where more than one man is working or congregated, and having people, having them yell out, "Hey, honey," or whistling, or trying to get your attention, and really putting you on the spot.
I felt very uncomfortable, and it was very awkward, and I felt like disrespected in a way, because like if they really wanted to get my attention, they could just approach me like a normal guy would and not actually just call me like a dog or something.
I was really scared, kind of, just because my friend and I, it was just us, and he seemed really old, and he had like a beard, and he was really big, and he could have probably hurt me if he wanted to, but you know, I don't know what kind of move a guy is going to make if he wants like something from me.
Did you respond to it?
No, I didn't do anything. I just stood there and kind of was in shock, and then I think his friends must have pulled him away or something, and he just walked away, and then I basically ran in the opposite direction.
And how are you interpreting this? Are you interpreting this as compliments? Are you annoyed by it? What?
no, this is not complimentary. Which is funny because I think guys think that by letting you know that they would be interested in sleeping with you, that is a compliment. And actually, it's really just objectifying me when I'm trying to walk in my daily life.
You're telling me then, if I compliment you on the street, it's some sort of abuse, no matter how I choose to do it? That means if you don't compliment me, no, hold on. If you don't compliment me when I walk by, that's abuse. You didn't bolster my self-esteem. I want to fine you. I want to start a coalition against women who don't compliment men.
So I think I'm hearing from you, Steve. Women should be okay with this because it is a compliment. These guys are saying, you know what, I like the way you look. You've done everything right as you've stepped out the house, and just leave it at that. And Amanda, you're saying, or tell me what you're saying. Are you saying, this is just harassment? It's annoying.
You are wrong. What I'm saying is that he's wrong, and that the reality is that a lot of women, when we leave the house, we are not looking for compliments. We are not strolling the streets waiting like, is anyone going to notice these pants today? Like, that's not actually how we are approaching our day.
Well, you'd
we are
rather have women
actually
compliment
just
you,
going where we're going. You know what's funny is that you as a man, what your problem is that you really should just be embracing and welcoming to the fact that women are saying, hey, we don't like this, not arguing why we shouldn't. If we say we don't like it and we are demonstrating that, then you should actually, as a man who is a man of honor and wrote a book about this, should be saying, well, let's discuss how we can make you all feel more comfortable, and how I, as a man who says that I have class, need to help and talk to my brothers about this.
But you have to understand something. Political correctness has gone too far. If you don't like it as a woman, turn around and tell them to shut up. Stand up for yourself. Act like a strong woman.
Because that doesn't get you killed, right? Because a woman got killed for doing that the other day in Detroit, actually. So you, sir, do not know what you're talking about.
Then carry a gun.
And you really need to be respectful to the fact that a woman got killed for that the other day.
Well, how many women
happened.
get killed for it versus how many women stand up for themselves?
I stand up for myself all the time. But the reality is that the conversation should really be about saying, hey, let's find a better way to communicate with each other in public, not about whether or not this is okay. Women don't...
Yeah. Wait.
Make a statement or message regarding catcalling and feminism.
I would say that we need to stop catcalling because teenage girls in this kind of era are afraid to walk by big groups of guys sometimes if they're alone because they don't know what they're going to do or if they're going to yell at them and make sexual references, and that makes people really uncomfortable. So I think we should try and stop that.
What is your message?
My message would be that men should put themselves in women's shoes, and then they'd see that it's not nice or sweet or cute or funny to walk outside trying to get to where you need to go and then be attacked by a swarm of inappropriate, out-of-line remarks and catcalls from complete strangers.
You have to keep in mind that feminism is having men and women be equal, so I think that if men were put into the same position that women are surrounding catcalling and just like the more derogatory ways that men approach women, I think that they would feel even more uncomfortable because their lives haven't really been molded around handling those situations. So I feel like it's something that they need to be like exposed to or more aware of and like seen from a different point of view.